afternoon and welcome to WEFM's Midday News brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited.
Ready, cash again! Experience the party! Experience the vibes! Experience the road! This carnival season, get the full experience with Ready Cash and pay nothing for 60 days. Take a loan of 3,000 and more for Carnival 2024 and make your first payment after Carnival. Plus, you get to enter and win your loan back. All you need is your ID, proof of address, job letter, payslip, and 2 references. Visit your nearest courts or Ready Cash location today. Experience Carnival 2024 with Courts Ready Cash. Ready when you are. Ready Cash again.
Welcome back to WEFM's Midday News brought to you with the kind compliments of Court St. Vincent Limited. I am your presenter, Rajiv Providence. First, on the local scene, the St. Vincent Electricity Services VINLEC is ahead of their power restoration schedule following the devastating passage of Hurricane Beryl. This was disclosed by VINLEC's Chief Executive Officer Dr. Vaughn Lewis during a call to WEFM's Issue at Hand program on Sunday. Dr. Lewis earlier had given an estimate that the company was expected to have all customers back online within 2 weeks. On Sunday, he said that following the work put in by VINLEC's workers, their restoration efforts are ahead of the schedule in terms of load. We hear more from VINLEC's CEO.
We are ahead of the schedule in terms of load. The last 15 to 10% is usually a little bit more tedious, but we are still targeting both in Beckway and on mainland to have all our customers restored by the end of this week. Some of them, especially persons who have had damaged buildings, we have to go through a process where we visit along with the electrical inspectorate, so that when the electrical inspectorate declares that the place is safe to reconnect, that we reconnect them. But this last 10 to 15% takes a longer time than the first chunk of customers who are on board online.
That was the Chief Executive of the St. Vincent Electricity Services VINLEC, Dr. Vaughn Lewis. Dr. Lewis said that while VINLEC's transmission and distribution infrastructure was significantly damaged on the islands of Maro and Kanawan, their power stations were spared the worst, which will provide a base for work to commence there. He, however, noted that the time frame for the commencement of work on those islands by VINLEC could not be provided at the time. On July 7th, 2024, Anika D'Souza, a 39-year-old staff nurse residing in Fairburn Pasture, was arrested and charged by police with deception. The charges stem from allegations that D'Souza attempted to withdraw 4,000 AC dollars from the Bank of St. Vincent and the Grenadines account of a 50-year-old laborer from Cattell's using a fraudulent document. Police say the incident occurred in Kingstown on March 3, 2024. D'Souza appeared in the Kingstown Magistrate Court on July 10, 2024, where she entered a plea of not guilty. She remains out on station bail under specified conditions. The case has been adjourned until July 22, 2024, when trial proceedings are scheduled to continue. Still on the local scene, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, while on the ground in Kanawan, provided an update on ongoing relief efforts on the island. The southern Grenadine island was devastated by the recent passage of Category 4 Hurricane Beryl last week. Prime Minister Gonsalves said that compared to his previous visit, things had begun to improve, noting that a British homeowner from the north of the island has given his assistance in the recovery effort in the form of the funding of 150 to 200 workers. We hear more from the Prime Minister.
In Kanawan, we have a very good structure under the leadership of Sergeant Tim at the police station. Supplies have been coming in, water, food, different things. When I was here a few days ago, things are far better. There's a buzz additionally in the village. A homeowner from the United Kingdom who in the north, he is making a substantial contribution to the development of this particular relief effort. he's funding already maybe 150, 200 people working, picking up things, helping to clean up. So I've been going through a lot of structural things here, organizational things, looking at the systems they have, stuff which have come in, give guidance on certain matters, put better streamlined procedures in place. There's a lot of activity now on Can 1.
That was the Prime Minister, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves. The Prime Minister highlighted the issue of the availability of fuel to execute relief work on the island. He said fuel is especially important at this time as activity with regards to relief ramps up. He also made an appeal for persons with 3 or 4-ton trucks to lease them to the government for relief work in Kanawan as well as a Union Island. On to news in the region. The Caribbean Catastrophe Risk Insurance Facility (CCRIF) announced on Wednesday that it will disperse US $44 million to Grenada due to the devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl last Monday. This payout marks the largest single amount ever paid out by CCRIF, a company with a segregated portfolio based, operated, and registered in the Caribbean. Hurricane Beryl, a Category 4 storm, wreaked havoc across the Windward Islands on July 1st, particularly impacting the Grenadine Islands of Carriacou and Petite Martinique, as well as Union Island in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. CCRIF confirmed that the funds for Grenada would be transferred this week. It noted that Hurricane Beryl caused complete destruction to 90% of buildings on Carriacou and Petite Martinique. Significant damage was also reported in the agriculture sector and the natural environment, including mangrove ecosystems. The electric utilities, especially the transmission and distribution systems on both islands, suffered extensive damage. Mainland Grenada's northern region also experienced severe impacts from Hurricane Beryl, with damage reported in residential areas, agriculture, and forestry sectors, as well as disruptions to electric and water distribution systems. Canada is providing support to the Caribbean region in the wake of Hurricane Beryl. Ahmed Hussein, Canada's Minister of International Development, announced that Canada is providing over $1 million in humanitarian assistance funding in response to the devastation caused by the hurricane. This funding will allow Canada's humanitarian partners to provide life-saving assistance, such as emergency food and nutrition services, protection and logistics services, and to ensure that humanitarian goods are dispatched and that humanitarian workers continue to be able to respond to the crisis in the face of daunting challenges. Of this amount, $500,000 will be allocated to the World Food Program, the WFP, for emergency food assistance and logistics services. As part of a Government of Canada project with the Canadian Red Cross Society's Emergency Disaster Assistance Fund, $160,000 will be allocated to the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Society's relief operations in response to its appeal for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Grenada, and Jamaica. In addition, Canada is also deploying essential relief items to the Jamaica Red Cross, valued at up to $350,000. On the international scene, the Israeli military has instructed Gaza City residents to evacuate south due to increased operations in the north. Leaflets dropped by aircraft advised all residents to leave, citing the area as a dangerous combat zone and indicating safe routes to shelters in Deir al-Balah and al-Zawaida. The UN expressed deep concern over these evacuation orders, the second such directive since the conflict began. Israeli forces have recently targeted districts where Hamas and Palestinian Islamic Jihad fighters have regrouped. Hamas criticized Israel's actions, accusing them of disrupting ceasefire negotiations. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu reiterated a commitment to negotiations with conditions. Finally, in sports, Bayern Munich have signed midfielder João Palhinha from Fulham on a 4-year contract until June 2028 for £42.3 million, plus £4.2 million in add-ons. The 28-year-old Portugal international joins the Bundesliga club a year after their initial deal to sign him collapsed. Paulinho joined Fulham from Sporting Lisbon in 2022 for around £17 million. He won the club's Player of the Year award during his opening season at Craven Cottage. The midfielder made 79 appearances over 2 seasons in West London, scoring 8 times. Paulinho follows Crystal Palace winger Michael Olise to Bayern. English defender Eric Dier has also joined the Bundesliga club permanently after playing for them on loan from Tottenham last season. Bayern's 11-year hold on the German title was ended by Bayer Leverkusen in 2023-2024. This has been WEFM's Midday News. I have been your presenter, Rajiv Providence. Join us again at 3 o'clock for WEFM's 3 p.m. news. WEFM's Midday News is brought to you with the kind compliments of Courts St. Vincent Limited.
At Quartz Optical, 2 are better than 1. Be always ready for the occasions with a second pair of eyewear. Find your fit with a pair. Get 50% off on all men's frames and sunglasses, plus 30% off all other purchases. Ray-Ban, Armani, Converse, Vogue, and much more. Get that frame today. Shop with no cash and pay later. Plus, you can book your eye examination appointment online today on www.quartzoptical.com. Only at Quartz Optical. Value you can see.
Smart shippers